Why did you stop believing on God? As child, you may receive religious education or just being exposed to certain religious activities, having a church near to your house, events on your school, and however you've lost your faith totally. You do not more believe that there is an elder figure, okay, an old man, very wise, very beautiful also, who is watching you, protecting you, and knowing everything that you do. And this is mostly on our Western history. Statistically, every new generation less believer than the previous one. So my generation, my C generation, is less believer than millennials, and millennials are less believer than the X generation, and so on, until we realize that we are just less happier and we have all this depression because of not having this faith. Do not confuse it. Depression is actually a result of many things around our lives, but anyways, it's a cause. And something very curious, it's the in comparison with Asia, which have their own religions, okay, they do not believe specifically on the God we talk about, they keep still their beliefs in their majority. That's why they are more organized, more spiritual, have a better work philosophy all around their society. This is my story. One of my lowest moments in my life. I was 14 years old with a total depression. It caused me many illness that appeared just randomly by emotions. I embarked on a new adventure that will be worth it, with just having God as my spiritual guide. I remember when I started working out, my rest times between the set, I just watched the window with the belief that God would just appear to me by telling me that I am the chosen one. But the curious thing is not that. The funny stuff is that he would appear with topmost angels of the hierarchy. And that's also what me get interested in mythology and then in history and then other academic stuff, and just get into another complete different discipline that would be programming, mathematics, etc., without obviously living on this belief. And at 17, when I got into university, basically it crushed me, but God's presence returned to give me some advices throughout a book. It's not an all forgotten book, okay, but it was on the night table of my mother, but I didn't have something to read, therefore I just try this out. Its name is, it's in Spanish. Its name is Conversation with God, and I consider it one of the most transformative books that I've read. And seriously, this is not just shitty promoting self-improvement stuff. This is actually, now what I think, a little bit controversial, but anyways, one of the best spiritual books that you may read your life. Let's get started. What is actually God? In essence, everything. Okay, anything that you can imagine, good, evil, blank, white, black, fire, ice, etc. We have just the yin and yang on the same thing, light, darkness, and everything that you can imagine. You get it. It's actually the balance that makes life possible and the definition of what we like. And now that I am recording this, remember what I've told you about watching to the sky from the window. I can say that this is your opportunity to get better with this lecture. God has specifically chosen you just to watch this and actually know what is actual self-improvement. Okay, so let's go into 3 transformative points that will change literally your vision. And that is, God will transform your life if you fix this believer mindset. God knows that you have this desire to get better, to transform your life, to have a completely different one, more pleasurable and enjoyable. But have you asked yourself why? Why do you want to get better? Why do you want and just get more money, more status, more love, more possessions, and more desire for spirituality also? These questions go over and over again. It was very easy to realize once, but it seems that just we forgot it. And that is that you cannot do anything else. If you don't want the good, what do you want? Seriously, if you fail a lot and you don't know how to change the situation, repeat yourself that you cannot just get into the evil because what the self-aware individual knows is that getting better is the only path. So even the bad person, if they get that self-awareness, the only thing that they could do would be just getting better. It's just the only option. So getting back into the context, as for example, you've been smashed or because of life and you are not just willing to continue. Repeat this, okay? If I am not disciplined, what will I be? Here are 3 points to connect this idea with a higher state. And the first one is that God isn't separate from you. The perspective that you have for God, He is. She is. It is that is, but it's just what you perceive. You are basically God, and you define it. You're going just to refer Him as a Him, just because for some more comfortability. The second would be that gratitude and positivity are keys. This is very depend on the book, because we've already knew that, but we are not just applying it. It's just if God be reclaiming us, because we've been told that we must be grateful, we must think well, okay, for attaining more wellness, but we are not just doing it. What actually God offers us is praying and writing, just communicating with Him with that intention. God will always be there to listen to your asks and questions, but what He most enjoys is having this mindset, okay, while praying. And the third one would be that the heaven and hell are not places. Jesus said that, but we just forgotten it. So the kingdom of the heaven is within you, and you live this one or the other option with our proper actions, our proper decisions and thoughts. I think that the most important one will be that there is a part where Neale Donald Walsch asks to God how stop just being hurt from other people's actions. And basically he answers, there will be some time in which their actions will not hurt you. Okay, even if they do it right now. But with process and practicing, okay, and all the tools that he gave us, this statement will become real. The second point is God's reminder, which are the lessons from Jesus. This point is very linked to the first one, okay, but it deserves actually its own section because of being actually very important, okay. The first one is that we have all the power around us. The first one is that while not being directly gods, let's say pure divinity controlling the reality, aliens would be just an example of that, but we have divine power. We have this access to just get into the creative mode. So you cannot shape directly the world instantly, okay, but with a law of attraction, you can do it on some time. The law of attraction is also very mentioned, okay, on this book. It has an entire chapter about that. And once again, the principal idea, we've already known it, but we've just been avoiding it because change takes some effort. Just celebrate all small victories, no matter how atomic it is. Seriously, when you align your progress with positivism, you will just want to repeat that, to manifest that. Here's an extract. Neale himself questioned to God about the of this, and God respond. Let me read this. Yes, it's real, but you must embody the feel of being more. Consistently progressing toward your goal. That's how it becomes reality. And a similar idea about stoicism, which we focus a lot on this channel, is your mind will take the shape of what you frequently hold in thought, for the human spirit is colored by such impressions. Also, God sustains that we have a lot of thinkers and spiritual teachers, okay, just to learn from. Jesus, I don't know if he would be special or not, but he actually also taught us the same principles on a different way, and that's why there is nothing wrong with comparing other philosophers or thinkers or ideas with and the Jesus ones. And this is the last point that I've told you all the video, and that is that we have already the answer, but we are not just applying. The best quote, you already have the tools, now it's up to you to use them. Some practical ways to apply this. All the world who belongs to this society knows about it, and that is the health. Consume real food rather than products that just harm your body. God basically reminds us that discipline is self-rest from our image and our own body, which is the only place that we have to live. Relationships. By design, they are instead of resisting their narrative, which the author at the beginning showed, embrace experience and mastery. It's just as another ability. Last one, and I guess that this is the most important one because applying it to university or learning in your studies, revisit problems that you've already practiced, even if you didn't well or not. This reinforces your understanding and skills. Do not get into this ego about I knew everything about this topic. No, seriously, show yourself that you do it. And we think sometimes the discipline is just doing the stuff, and it is. Okay, there are some life cycles where we feel just brain rot and we are just doing everything automatically. In spite of doing the stuff, we still perceive negativity on our brains. Another good quote from God would be the next one. Train your mind to dwell on the highest thought, which is just the genesis of all our lives. This is your sign to connect with God, with yourself, all the life that surrounds you. You will generally like this book because this is like a different experience on the brand. I'm just reviewing this, but God just knows why He sent to you this video. Just as a sort of reinforcing the learning, okay, from this group of papers. I don't know what else to say. Thanks for watching and follow me on Instagram to get more self-improvement content from very different perspectives. Check out the channel also for checking if there are more of these videos that may interest you and then also apply on your life. So goodbye.